cook the food. But what happens? Suppose if I coat the bottom of my vessel utensil by a copper. If I do copper coating, I can utilize better heat. The heat transfer is better. It's a good technology, new technology, old technology. I sold this technology to many people in this country. But the technology is small. The innovation content is not that high. But the technology is useful. It's good. It saves your energy. Energy is very important. Energy is in scarcity. There is a crisis for energy. So saving energy, technology related to saving energy, they are also very important. At what level they are, it is immaterial. So see, this is simple technology, small technologies, but very good technology. But the question is, because there is a very simple technology, just electroplating or the coating by electrolytic coating or by any other means coating, by short blasting or whatever it is, it's a very simple technology. So there could be many buyer of the technology. So you will not fetch a very high value from one buyer because it's an incremental technology, small technology. Now, there are certain simple technologies. Simple technologies, for example, you must be sitting on a laptop right now. Some of you may be having a wireless mouse and some may be having a wire mouse. See the wireless mouse, wireless mouse from the wire mouse. It's not a very big technology. People use both kind of. I use a wireless. I use a wired mouse. So people can do people can work without wireless mouse also. So it's not a very big good technology, but not used by everybody because it's a simple technology and there are other means by which you can work. So in this case of simple technologies, the simple technologies are also, they are sellable, but you don't get very high price for them. The third type of technology are the complex technology. Complex technology is basically very big technologies, big technology in the sense those technologies sometimes are called disruptive technology because they make the earlier technology obsolete. The initial investment in such technology is very high. Sometimes the processes are also very complex, very lengthy processes, very complex processes, very tedious processes, particularly in the field of biotechnology, biochemistry, and the chemical, pharmaceutical sciences, and your electrical. They're very complex technologies. Let us understand with the help of some examples. For example, you see the LED bulb today. Initially, you see the tungsten bulbs were available initially. Then the fluorescent light came, then CFL came, and now it is LED. Now you see the fluorescent light when came, it replaced the tungsten bulbs. Then CFL came, CFL replaced the fluorescent light, the tube lights completely. Now you see the LED lamps. LED, they are called disruptive technology because over a period of time, they completely replace the other form of illuminations. And for another example, you can take your mobile telephony. Earlier, we were having a wire telephony. Now, the wire telephony is nowhere. Landline is nowhere in the world today. Very, very few people have government departments or some departments, they have landline. But majority of the people today, they have a wireless telephony. That it is used by everybody, smartphones, without wire. So they are called the complex technologies. So the prices, they take a very long time for the development. And the prices of such technology is also very high. So now in your university, you have to evaluate that what we are doing. Whatever work you do, you have to evaluate yourself. First evaluation is yours. Then second evaluation is of the market. 1 minute. See. Now, second important factor that helps in marketing your technology or taking your technology to the public is the state of development of the technology. You see, you have just seen the nature of technology. Now you see the state of the development of technology. The state of the technology, there are two kinds. One is the prototype related technology. Prototypes, basically, they are the gadgets. They are the small instruments, personal care products. For example, the shaving machine, it's an electrical gadget, electronic gadgets. So they are called the prototype related technology. Now the question is, the value of your prototype related technology depends at what level is your prototype. For example, you have developed one prototype but not tested. This is one stage. Second stage may be you have you have more than or say two prototypes, and both are tested. Now you can have many prototypes, more than one, maybe 50 prototypes, 100 prototypes, and they are tested at different geographical locations to give you the better confidence. Now you see the three stages in prototype technology. First stage, your confidence is low and the buyer's confidence is low. Second, you have so little confidence, buyer also gradually gets some. But if you have in the third stage, you see you are more confident because you have tested your product, your prototype at various locations under various conditions. And if it works perfectly, then you are able to sell your technology at a very high price, and there would be many buyers for your technology in similar case. Now the next is this was the prototype related technology. Now there is a process related technology. Process related technology is mostly, actually, let us also understand with the help of example, the technology related with the chemicals, pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, because there are various processes involved. So now the cost of the such technology also depends on the stage. At what stage is your technology? For example, if you developed a medicine, but you have developed that medicine only at the laboratory level, say 10 grams, and not tested, and you feel that it could be a better medicine, and you want to sell at this level, there will not be many buyers because you simply developed some few grams of the material in the laboratory and you say it is a medicine. Suppose you have tested the quality, I mean the purity. If you are able to, after next step, if you are able to generate the purity data also, then your value is little more increased. For example, now third thing, if you are able to have some toxicity first trial, if you are able to conduct the toxicity first toxicity trial, level 1, level 2, level 3, so then the price will little increase. If you have toxicity level trial 2, sorry, toxicity of the material LD50, I'm sorry, LD50 at various stages, then you have the prices, you have your technology based on that. Then clinical trials. If you have reached the clinical trials, clinical trial first, second, third, then your value of the technology is increased. Now let me give you an example here also. I have a technology for dental varnish. Dental varnish is basically used for to check the cavity in the teeth, and particularly the children's or the grown-ups also who eat more, who consume more chocolates and sweets, they developed cavity in the teeth. So we developed a technology for checking that, we call dental varnish. Now I advertise this technology, or I asked some people to, because in this case, because they were not very oral hygiene product manufacturer in the country, so there were two, and I approached both of them. One came forward and he wanted to get more information from me, because when you are because he was going to make investment on my technology. So naturally, before making any investment, he will try to grab more and more information. So in such a case, because I cannot share more information with them, because it was my office mandate also, my office was also not allowing me to use this data. But all these data, they create a confidence in the buyer. So we had several round of negotiations, and he wanted to say he is interested, because there are very few oral hygiene product manufacturer in the country. He says he is interested, but if you release these data, some more data only, then they'll go ahead with the commercialization of my technology. But I took a risk later on, because for this my technology, we have conducted the clinical trials also at PGI Chandigarh, in the dental department. Now what I did, I took a risk without telling my bosses, my chairman of the office. At that time, there was no internet available. The fax machines were available. So I faxed the result of my clinical trial to this gentleman in the night. at 12 o'clock night, I fax some results to this. And the gentleman was very happy. He says, Mr. Sharma, you have got very wonderful data. I want to sign an agreement with you. I want to buy your technology. You were not interested. Now you have shown very big interest. Then he says, at that time, I did not. The data you have shared with me, on the basis of this data, I can register my product with FDA even. So the level state of your technology always depends on the marketability of your technology and the price of your technology. So when it is a process-related technology, it is also at a various stages, various level, because each technology has a lifetime. For example, I developed a technology and I sell it. Somebody has bought a technology. After 10 years, the price of the technology will go down, because my technology is not going to live longer, because new technology is following, is catching me from the behind. So the process, these are the two kind of technologies: prototype, you might have understand, and process related technology. Now let us go ahead. Now sometime the testing and certification of end products also plays a important role in marketing your technology. Why I'm talking all these things to you? Because you are in the university and you keep on working in the laboratory, but sometime, many of the time, you do not know what is required by the market. Or you may not be aware that at what level should I bring my technology so that the market, it becomes acceptable in the market. So sometime besides those two, three earlier slides I discussed, this is also a very important slide: testing, certification of end products. For example, if you have developed a food products or agriculture products, so this egg mark and the FSI, they are very important factors in marketing your technology. So suppose you developed a food or agriculture related products in your laboratory, and you are able to get it some certification like EGMARK or FSI, then the value of your technology increases, because that activity will not be done. Otherwise, what will happen? You can sell your technology without this certification also, but the next part will be done by the buyer himself, because without certification, he cannot sell this product in the market. So the buyer, I'll give an example also how the buyer does it. Then if you want to do if you want to sell pharmaceutical product, then you have to take the permission from controller general of the drug control general of India or the state government. They will give you a certification when you want to sell a pharmaceutical technology for a pharmaceutical product. Not the technology, but the product has to get the certification. Then fertilizer, including biofertilizers. So if you want to sell a fertilizer, you have to have a biocontrol order. You cannot call a fertilizer a fertilizer, a product. You cannot call a chemical or a product fertilizer until you have this biocontrol order. Here I'll give an example. One of my laboratory in Kolkata, and because when I was in NRDC, we have a number of maybe more than 200 laboratories all over the country, and there were many universities I was working with those universities also, and I was working with IIT Kharagpur also and IIT Kanpur. So one of our scientists, one of our professor in Kolkata, Department of Chemistry and Agriculture Chemistry in Kolkata University, he developed a biofertilizer, but he developed it on the laboratory scale. Now, sometimes we don't have enough, the facilities to test all these qualities before marketing the product. Therefore, we tell the buyer that we don't this kind of studies is required, but we don't have. Now, one party from Medak in Andhra Pradesh, he was in fertilizer manufacturing. He came forward. He says he can buy the technology. He bought the technology from us, and he put up a pilot plant for making those products at 1 ton per day level. 1 ton per day. I visited his plant in Medak, and I saw the pilot plant. He was making it, but he was unable to sell the product in the market. Why he was unable to sell the product market? Because he cannot sell that product by the name biofertilizer, because it doesn't have a biocontrol order. Now what we did, because why I was in the government, there are many department in the government who can fund such studies. So what I did, I organized some money from the Department of Science and Technology. That means the 50% cost for carrying out these uh, testing, and I actually made this agree. I made this buyer agree to share the 50% cost, another 50% cost for this. So both of us, we signed an agreement, and I said 50% cost I will share, 50% you share, and we will conduct a study in that various fields. It has to be done for a year at different geographical location and at five different crops. So we conducted these studies at various places in India, and we were able to get later on the data generated by us in the field were submitted to the fertilizer of department, and we could get the biocontrol order, and we were able to sell our product in the market. So certifications are also very important. For example, pesticide and weedicide, you have to have permission from the Central Insecticide Board. Again, it is like pharmaceutical. When you call a chemical a pesticide or insecticide, it must fulfill the certain requirements of the pesticide Central Insecticide Board. It is in Faridabad. That means you have to have a purity, toxicity, clinical trials. All those studies are to be done before getting a certification from the Central Insecticide Board or the government authority or the statutory authorities for marketing in the field. So sometime what happens, because you have a university, we were also a government department, we don't have many facilities. Yes, we can develop the facility, we have a laboratory, we can develop the product, but for qualify those product marketable or as a pesticide, pharmaceuticide or a food product, you have to conduct certain studies. So in some cases, I have noticed it, I have seen that many of the industry, maybe 60 to 70% time, industry, they buy the technology from the laboratory at whatever level the technology is, and rest of the activities, rest of the R&D work, rest of the work regarding toxicity and clinical trials or some other kind of studies, testing, is done by the buyer to bring the product in the market, before bringing the product in the market. But why they take? Because the exploratory work has been done in the laboratory. At least they save time and money for that. So they come forward. Rest of the things they can carry there. But for a laboratory, like for a university like yours who develop a technology, you must know that there are certain this mandatory certification is also very important to quickly sell your technology and to get the better price of your technology. Now there are various other factors on which the selling of your technology also depend. Those factors are, for example, in some of the technology, some byproducts are also given out. So byproducts are nuisance material sometimes, because you can't throw them as such in the land, in the environment. So there could be an environmental problem. So suppose you have a technology for making a product A, but a byproduct B is also given out. If you are able to done some work on the byproduct B, that how this byproduct B can be utilized safely, then the value of your technology increases, the marketability of your technology increases. Secondly, you see that nowadays when you put up an industry, anybody want to start an industry, he has to get clearance from the pollution control board, state pollution control department. One has to get the permission. So suppose the process project you are using, process or technology which you are using, and if some waste is given out, so you must, your laboratory in association with the buyer, if your laboratory done it is well and good. For example, university, your laboratory must done this work also, that how much waste product is given out, what is the quality and quantity. quality and quantity of the waste given out, and how best in a best way you can dispose that waste. So this increases the price of your marketability of your technology. Third is the technology development funding related factors. They're very important. Now there are various government department, they fund the development of technology. For example, I'll give an example. We developed one of our laboratory in Calcutta and Delhi together. They developed a technology for liposomal amphotericin B. It's a medicine for fungal infection, and very important medicine. India was importing this liposomal amphotericin B, and one ampoule of 50 ml was about 10,000 rupees. Very expensive and very useful drug. But what was the problem? That it was not available. So Piramal Rasayan and some other companies, they were importing. Nexstar, some other companies from England and America, they are importing and selling it. Very expensive, not affordable. So what we did, our laboratory tried to develop this technology, and hopefully luckily we were able to develop this technology in our laboratory very well. In lab scale, we have developed it very well. Now, lab scale work doesn't help in marketing your technology. It's a medicine, it's a drug, so it will not help. So what we did, we associated King Edward Medical College in Mumbai to then conduct the clinical trials on it, our product. And there was some professor, Nilima Sagar, she retired as a vice chancellor of the health university in later on. So I worked with her to conduct that this clinical trials of our drug in this in the hospital. That was also very successful. Now we were looking for some company who can commercialize, who can buy my technology. Very difficult, new product, market was not sure, expensive. But there was one Dr. Verma was there who did his PhD from CDRI Lucknow, and he went as a postdoctoral fellow in America. He was working in the similar line. When he came to India, he thought to become an entrepreneur. So he came forward and he took the technology from us. The question is, the technology was at a very laboratory scale, how to scale it up. Because it was our technology, government technology. You are also a central government university. So some department like DST, DSIR, they have some fund for scaling up of the technology. So what we did, we approached the government of India, some departments of government of India, and requested them to fund for scaling up. And some department, when Department of Science and Technology, it came forward, government of India, it came forward, and it agreed to fund for the scaling up of our technology. Now you see, with the help of the laboratory, with the help of the government of India, and the entrepreneur was also very intelligent fellow. He was a learned man and very encouraged, very young man, very encouraged. And he put up a project with the name of Life Care Innovation in Gurgaon. And today, for the last 10 to 15, I think last more than 10 years, this company is manufacturing liposomal amphotericin B in India, and we are able to sell this medicine at rupees 2,000, where it was available at 10,000 rupees in India. So it all depends. The funding related factors means there are very department, TDU, Technology Development Board is there, DST, DSIR, MSME is there, and some state council of science and technology are there, who are willing to further support in the scaling up of the technology. The next is the scientist related factor. This is also very important factor. If you are a very renowned university, then the industry or the buyer or the entrepreneur will believe on you, that you are a renowned university. It doesn't depend. If you are not a very renowned university, but the professor and the teachers working in your university, they are very renowned. In such a case also, the buyers, they'll come forward to buy your technology, because the scientist related factor is also very important. Many of your technology, I've been able to sell many of your technology by the reputation of my scientist. They know that the scientist is good. Whether the technology is good or bad, immaterial, they believe that it must have been done. He must have done a good technology, must have developed a good technology. So scientific related factors are also very important. They also play a very important role in marketing in your technology. Sometimes the scientists, they are mobile. They don't remain. For example, if you have some teachers, professors who develop a technology, later on, just after marketing the technology, he leaves and stays somewhere in US. leave permanently and go to US or Canada. In such a case, when somebody buys a laboratory technology, there are a lot of teething problems, a lot of bottlenecks while scaling up, developing the technology at a commercial level. So the question is, who will support them at that time? Because the scientist has left the laboratory, left the university, has gone out. So these factors also plays a very important role. Here, I will give you a good example here. We have a laboratory in Pune, National Chemical Laboratory, Pune. I was coordinating that laboratory, and they developed a technology for vitamin B6. Now, the vitamin B6, this DCM company, Dorala Sugar Works, they want to put up a plant for manufacturing vitamin B6, and they opted a technology from Russia. But our secretary at that time, our Secretary Science and Technology, he was very dynamic fellow. He was very person believing in the local. He was very vocal for the local. So he stopped the import and asked make this industry to buy the indigenous technology. So the vitamin B6 technology developed at the National Chemical Laboratory Pune, we were able to license this technology to them. Now, after licensing, one of the step in transferring the technology, commercialization of technology, is the demonstration. First step is the licensing. Second step is the demonstration. When I went with the team of the DCM, Dorala Sugar Works, to National Chemical Laboratory Pune to take the demonstration, to my surprise, I found that all the people in the group, the complete group in National Chemical Laboratory, who were responsible for the development of vitamin B6 technology, they resigned, they left, they have left short before that, they left the NCL Pune, and all of them joined Lupin Laboratories at a very high price. They got very good remuneration and a very senior positions. All of them, they left and they joined Lupin Laboratories, and they put up their plant for manufacturing vitamin B6. Lupin Laboratories, I think, one of the major manufacturer in this country for vitamin B6. Why? Because the entire group. Now I had to cut a sorry figure. Nobody was there to demonstrate the technology. I signed a license agreement. I took the money from the Dorala Sugar Works. The scientist, we just air dashed to Pune one fine morning, Pune. And when we went to the laboratory, we found that the director told that all these people, because he has to organize the demonstration by some other group, because the actual group has left. This also plays a very important role if the demonstrator of the technology is not there. So we could not call. Ultimately, what happens, the technology was demonstrated by other group and it was not demonstrated successfully. So I have to return the technology fee which I have taken from the DC, because the actual group has left and the people who demonstrated, they were not there. Another example I will give you here. The same thing happened with me. This is also with the National Chemical Laboratory Pune. But here I was successful. Why I was successful? There was a product called radio sonde thermistor. This radio sonde thermistor is used for measuring the atmospheric temperature in the high atmosphere. Now, one buyer came forward to buy this technology. It was an old technology, and because they don't weed out universities and the research laboratories from their annual report. They don't, whether the scientist is there or not, whether the scientist dies, he leaves, but the technology still remains in the active list. They don't weed out the technology. So the radio sonde thermistor was there. One fellow opted it for, and I licensed the technology to him. Now, when I went for the demonstration of the technology, when I went with this gentleman for demonstration, again, I found the same thing, that the scientist has left. It was an electronic material, but whatever the scientist left, but he joined another laboratory of the Government of India, Department of Electronics itself in Pune. The scientist was locally available in Pune, but in some other Government of India laboratory. So what I did, I took the permission from the other laboratory, the electronics laboratory in Pune, from the director, that please release this man for 15 days as we want to demonstrate the technology. So I was able to, because I was in the government, they were in the government, technology was of the government, I was able to influence the director of the laboratory, and I was able to demonstrate the technology to the entrepreneur or to the potential buyers. So it happens sometime with the laboratory. It can happen with any university or the laboratory also. Now, once the technology has been developed, all this mandatory certification work has been done or not done, but you believe that whatever was under your capacity, you have done and the technology has been made. Now, the next question is, to whom you will sell this technology? That means identifying a potential buyer, a licensee, an entrepreneur. So next step is this. So how will you do it? See, if your technology, if there are, if you do not know who is the buyer, then you can advertise it. This is one way. But suppose there are very few buyers, for example, you know that my technology is utilized by very few buyers. So you can write who can be, that means who can be buyer of your technology. The parties who control the supply of the major raw material. The people who makes the raw material may be interested in buying your technology. For example, one of my laboratory, defense laboratory in Gwalior, defense uh, laboratory, I think what's the name, I forgot the name, but they developed a technology called DEPA, diethyl phenyl acetamide, something like a chemical, which is used for, which are used as a mosquito repellent. DEPA. DEPA was developed, DRD. DRD is the Defense Research and Development Establishment in Gwalior. This is a defense laboratory. Their scientists developed a chemical called DEPA, diethyl phenyl acetamide, which is used as a mosquito repellent. And this was basically done by for the defense people, our defense personnel who work in high altitudes in Himalaya or some other places, because a lot of mosquitoes are there to repellent it. Now, what I found, that there was only one manufacturer of phenyl acetamide, diphenyl acetamide, diethyl phenyl acetamide. Phenyl acetamide is the precursor, raw material. So there was only the one manufacturer. Instead of wasting my time and money on advertisement and approaching the people, I wrote that company in Baroda. That company is in Baroda. So I said that you have the raw material. It is used in various other places, this material. But I have developed a product using your raw material, which is of commercial value. So I could license my DEPA, diethylphenyl acetamide, a mosquito repellent, to a company in Baroda, because they were manufacturing the raw material for it. Now, industries that are manufacturing similar products, they can also buy our technology. Industries who would like to widen their product range, because I make A, B, C, but if I buy a technology from you, I can make D, E, F also, to widen the range, product range, diversification. Importers of similar or competing products. Suppose you develop your university has developed a technology, and how to sell this technology to the interested entrepreneur. So one way will be, suppose the similar product, the product which you have developed, is already in the Indian market, but not manufactured in Indian market, it is imported. That means the people know about the product, they know the use of the product. So the importer may think that instead of importing this product, why can't I start a manufacturing unit? Because there is a demand. Instead of imported product, he can sell locally the same product. So importers of similar or the competing product can be buyer of your technology. Then companies having required manufacturing infrastructure. That's a very good example. I'll give you an example here. There was a company called Shivalik Agro in Himachal Pradesh. So they were manufacturing some agrochemicals, some products, and some polymeric products they were making. They were having an existing plant, but they were manufacturing those products for several years. While in NRDC, I had got about more than 500 technologies in my kitty. So one day, these industries people, the owner of the industry, they came to our NRDC. They met our chairman. My chairman invited me for discussion. They say they have the existing plant. They have some machineries, and they are manufacturing A, B, C, D, E, these products. They want to diversify. Can they make some more product utilizing the existing infrastructure? They don't want to make more investment on the infrastructure, but they want to make the more product. So they invited me for evaluation of their plant. I stayed with them in their unit for 3 days. I visited, I see each and every plant, every machinery, every plant, their infrastructure, what they are doing. And thereafter, I suggested that by having some balancing equipment, they can manufacture some 6-7 more products for which I am having the technology. So this is the another way you can sell your technology. Now, some high-tech companies, they can also go. The industry where new product fits in with their vertical or horizontal expansion program. Some companies, they are horizontal. For example, your product may be precursor for some company. For some company, it could be a final product. So it all depends that industries which want to fit in their new products in the existing infrastructure. So these I mean, these 6 7 kind of people, the 6 7 kind of buyers, the 6 7 kind of industries, they could be your buyer of your technology. You can commercialize, you can license, you can transfer your technology through these kind of industries. It takes a lot of time actually. It's not simple. It takes 2 to 3 years, because 1 year goes in negotiation, second year again in your negotiation, then material transfer, this transfer, that transfer, so many visits. It takes a lot of time. Now, how can you add value to your, or how can you add value to your technology before licensing? Now you have to formulate a technology transfer strategy, a licensing strategy, a commercialization strategy. So first is determining of the marketing potential. See, there could be buyer of your technology, buyer of your product, but besides price, they may ask you that what is the market size of the product. So the people who want, who are the who want to commercialize your product first time, they do not know what is the market. So in such a case, you have to tell them about the market. How will you tell the market? See, what we were doing when our laboratory, or when our universities, they were developing the technology, they are assigning the technology to us for commercialization. What we were doing, for some technologies, we were conducting a market survey. Market survey means to know the market of the product. So sometimes for small products we were doing ourselves, and some for big products, some complex product, we were getting this market potential done by professional agencies. So that tells us the value of, once you know the market of product, you know the value of your technology also. So this helps. There are two advantages of this. First, if the market is very huge, I can get, I'll negotiate a better price for my technology. If market is not very huge, then uh, and I want to take this product in the market somehow, then I can sell it at some low price also. And secondly, if I am able to convince a buyer that the product has a very huge market, he will easily buy my technology. So the under this formulation of marketing strategy or commercialization or licensing strategy, the first point is the market potential. So if you can do it yourself, you can get it done from outside agency uh, on payment basis. It's not free. Now thereafter, your technology has been developed. You have decided some price. You have conducted a market survey. You have taken certain certification also for a product. Then comes the negotiation. Negotiation means negotiating the pricing and the exclusivity of your technology with the buyer. Negotiation means negotiation of price, pricing of your technology plus the exclusivity. So exclusivity means sometime the buyer of your technology would not like to have a competitor for himself. So he will pursue you that you will not give this technology to any other company in India. So that is called exclusivity. Exclusivity means to only one party, not to other party. But you are a central government agency, we were central government agency, we cannot promote monopoly. We believe in multiplicity. We can't give exclusive, because all our technologies, you are a central university, you are a public funded laboratory, you have a public funded university. So the technology will be developed, the technology that will be developed in your institution will be a public funded technology. So you cannot give a preferential treatment to anybody. But to market our technology, to commercialize our technology, to license our technology, some compromise we can make. We can, yes, we can give exclusivity. We can tell the company, okay, for the first 3 years, I will not give it to anybody. Once you establish in the market, I will not create a competitor for. That is possible. That you can take permission from the vice chancellor of the university, and you can give first selective exclusivity. Sometime you can say, okay, I can give you exclusive right only in southern region, central India, northern India, east India. That kind of exclusivity you can give. Multiple licensing. Multiple licensing, if it is a private organization, private developer of the technology, yes, he cannot opt for multiple licensing, but you can. If you know, if you know that there is a good demand, and this individual licensee, this particular licensee will not be able to fulfill the need, and he can create a monopoly, so you can give to multiple licensing. You can give technology to other and outright sale of an IPR. Sometimes some people see, I told you that the technology, or if I have not told you, the technology, when we sell a technology, we ask a price. The price is payable in two form. That is, one is the lump sum premium, the upfront money. That means the price, lump sum amount, a fixed amount at the time of signing the agreement. And the second part is the recurring royalty. That means when you manufacture, you pay us the royalty at a certain rate. But some people, some companies, they don't want to go into this business of royalty. They want to take the outright sale of a patent. For example, your university has a patent. Suppose you have a patent for manufacturing, you have a patent for a product called a safety razor. Now, if some good company, razor company, comes to you and they say, you sell your patent to us forever. Whatever money you negotiate with him. For example, I did for one technology like this. We developed a technology for detergent grade zeolite in our laboratory at Bhavnagar. The raw material for that development of this product was a waste product from a aluminum industry. This aluminum industry was in Damanjodi, Odisha, National Aluminum Corporation, NALCO. Now, when we went for marketing this technology, the NALCO was the best buyer because they were controlling the raw material, because the waste was available there. So they came forward. They said they will buy a technology, but they will buy it outrightly. We have a patent on this technology also. They say they want to buy it outrightly. They don't want to go into this lump sum premium or the royalty or something else. So that was also a government company. We were the government. We negotiated at rupees 1.4 crore. We gave the patent to them forever. So this is called the outright sale of an IPR, intellectual property right. It's maybe patent, design, or whatever it is. So you can see, you can sell at outright sale also. It all depends on the strategy and negotiation and the rules and regulation of your university. Now, payment options. Because when somebody buys a technology from you, he has to pay. He has to pay because you have made investment in terms of time, money, and efforts. So naturally, he has to pay. So how the payment option? I told you there are two options for payment. The first option is the lump sum premium. That means that we call shagun in Hindi. When we do something new, so shagun. Shagun, we give some money in the form of shagun. In engagement also, in Indian marriages, you see when somebody select a bridegroom, he pays some, he do a tilak and pay some money. That is the fixed. This has been fixed. So it is called the lump sum premium. Lump sum premium, after negotiation, everything, we negotiate with the company, we negotiate the agreement with the party that you pay us the lump sum, 10 lakh rupees at the time of signing of the agreement, and you will pay us a royalty also at various stages, at various rates. So lump sum premium also can be paid in many steps. For example, some companies, they say, suppose the technology fail, then the entire money will go, of the buyers go. So what they, and sometimes the amount is, so for example, I suppose I charge 10 lakhs, I ask for 10 lakhs rupees as a lump sum premium. The company is small, The entrepreneur is small. He is not able to organize 10 lakhs rupees at a time. So what we can charge this money also in various installments. For example, I will ask them what I have done earlier, or you can do also. You can charge them, for example, out of the 10 lakh rupees, you can say, okay, you pay 5 lakhs rupees at the time of signing of the agreement. Signing the agreement means an understanding is reached that yes, I will buy your technology at this cost, and in lieu of that money, you will pay me these things with respect to this technology. So this is called an agreement. Now, that suppose 10 lakhs rupees is the lump sum premium, the fixed amount which we charge at the first go. So you negotiate with the party that 5 lakh rupees you pay me at the time of the license agreement, signing of the agreement. And the second lump sum premium, that is, and the remaining 5 lakhs you can pay in 2 installments. The second 2.5 lakhs you can pay when I transfer documents to you. Transfer document, know-how document. What is the procedure? The first procedure is sign a license agreement, pay me the money. The second step is the transfer of the know-how document. The laboratory provides the licensee. The laboratory provides the buyer the complete documentation of the technology. That means how to practice that technology, the testing methods, testing of raw materials, testing of final products, and whatever studies we have conducted with respect to that technology, everything in the form of a documentation, which we call know-how document, is transferred to the buyer in the second stage. And for that, he has to pay 2.5 rupees. Then third step in transfer of technology is demonstration of the technology. So when the document is received by the buyer, he studies the document. If he has some clarification, he needs some clarification, he can write to the laboratory, he can write to the scientist, he can write to the university for the clarification. And the third stage is the demonstration of the technology. That means the scientist, the laboratory, or the university has to give him 3 consecutive demonstration. Why 3 demonstration? Because the results should be similar. The results should come almost similar. So the 3 demonstrations are given at the third step. So you can put a condition that the balance 2.5 lakh rupees you will give at the time of successful demonstration of the technology. So this is about the first payment options, that is the lump sum premium. Second is you can earn more money on your technology. This is the first option, first thing, the lump sum premium, and you have to, there's more money we were earning on your technology in the form of the royalty. Now, royalty can be paid on sales also. It all depends on the negotiation. If there is a huge sale, then they will not give you royalty on sales. They will give you on the royalty on product wise, something like that. You can have royalty on sales. It all depends on your negotiation capabilities. How best you are in negotiating the license agreement, all it depends that. Royalty on sales, royalty on profits. Because some company may not be interested in giving royalty. Sale is very huge and profits are less. And you can fudge the figure. Some companies, they fudge the figures also. So royalty on, they may agree for giving you royalty on profits. So royalty on sales, it will always be a less amount. I mean the percentage will be low, maybe 1%. Royalty on profits is very less. So the royalty amount may be the percentage may be very high, maybe 2%, 5%, or minimum fixed royalty. This is also I have done sometime, because sometimes what happens, some products are very new, and some parties, they are not interested in paying this, in negotiating the royalty on sales and profits. In such case, I've done it many. This is all my experience. You will not find written all these things in any books. And if you find somewhere, this article will be from my institution, and we were able to prepare this documentation. And I think IGNOU and some other universities, it has been taught. So it's our classified document. So what I did, sometime I say, okay, whether somebody sign an agreement, and whether if the party, sometimes they sign the agreement and they don't commercialize it. So what happens? My technology is successful, but it is failed because of that licensing. In such a case, what we do to make it compulsory, to force the buyer of my technology to make it, I put a fixed minimum royalty. I say, okay, whether you make it or not make it, you will have to pay me some 5 lakhs rupees a year for first 3 years. Thereafter, if you start manufacturing, then I will charge royalty on a percentage basis. So minimum fixed royalty is also, I told you all these things depends how efficient you are in negotiation, how best you are at negotiation. It all depends on that. So minimum fixed royalty, then variable royalties. That is, sometimes some product has a domestic market as well as the export market. In such a case, we can have the variable royalty. For example, if you market in India, I will charge you 2% royalty. And if you market abroad for export sale, I'll charge 5% or 10% royalty. So let us recapitulate. Let us conclude our discussions of today. So how will you do it? Once your technology is final, once your technology is complete, you believe, you think that you have done whatever uh, uh, possibility was there, whatever within your limits, you have completed your technological work. So what is the first step is the locate a manufacturer. I told you several methods of locating a manufacturer. You can directly write to the company, you can advertise, you can participate in exhibitions, you can advertise in newspapers, magazines, where there are several methods of advertising your technology. Then preparing marketing material. Now you have to make a very beautiful marketing material, means a write-up on your technology. What is that write-up? Basically, you have to write the introduction part, you have write to the silent feature of your technology, you have to write the advantages of your technology. So you can give as many information as possible, but not the confidential information, not that information which we can, by using that, he can use your technology. That confidential information in the form of know-how document is given only after signing of the agreement and making the payment, paying the lump sum premium. Before that, you have to make a write-up, non-disclosure. I think you have to make a write-up where you don't disclose any secrecy of your technology. Everything you can write, but not the secret information, not the actual technology, if you, by which you can utilize your information. So you have to prepare a marketing material, that is a documentation, to give a feel of your technology to the buyer, to make him interested, to help him in taking a decision. You can, in that marketing material, you can mention the market potential also. So why this marketing material is made? This marketing material actually basically helps buyer in taking a decision to buy your technology or not. This is the second. Third one, you can submit that marketing material to the commercial buyer, or the licensee, or the buyer, or the interested company. You send those marketing material to the manufacturer, means manufacturer here means buyer, the potential buyer of your technology, and then you negotiate the license. License means you have to negotiate 3-4 things like payment obligations, royalty obligations, then the demonstration obligations, and then exclusivity, multiplicity, non-exclusive license. All these kind of things are to be negotiated first, and then you come to a point of licensing, commercializing, or the transferring of the technology. My dear friends, this is what I wanted to share with you, my experience on commercialization of technology. And if there is any question for anybody, the floor is open, and I am gladly answer any of your question related to technology transfer or intellectual property. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. It was a very nice presentation. Very like everything was explained in very good description. So this now floor is open for the questions. So please, if anybody has any question, please ask. All right, sir. I have one question, sir.
Okay.
Actually, sir, generally, like we at the university, we all do some research.
Hmm.
Okay. And everybody knows that this research is where it is going to work, right?
Hmm.
But,
Hmm.
generally we have like 3 points, bottlenecks or 3 limitation points.
Okay. Okay.
One is like we have the technology, we have
Hmm.
developed it to a level like up to a TRL3.
Hmm.
How to go from the TRL3 to TRL5? Because that is a main part, which is where universities are lacking, right?
Hey,
We are,
first. Okay. Okay. Just please complete. Complete. Yes.
this is the first thing. Then once we, okay, if we somehow, if there is an incubator and that helped us to go from TRL3 to TRL5,
Hmm.
then like how to the second thing is that we know who is our customer, but
Hmm.
how to reach there.
Hmm.
Okay. And third thing is like scale up, that
Hmm.
we all do everything at the laboratory level,
Hmm.
and how to go for a scale up, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
everything is explained in your presentation, I
Hmm.
understood that, but what I want to know is whether there are some agencies which can help us to connect us to our customer, because we know the customer, who is the
Hmm.
customer, but the thing
Hmm.
is the path which we
Hmm.
want to do, like if there is an agency
Hmm.
or government agency which can connect us to our customers, where we can give presentations and explain him, and then
Hmm.
negotiate all those things like a field skill trial or a pilot skill trial, something like
Hmm.
that, so that we can use their laboratory to produce the thing at a larger scale and do a pilot skill trial or a
Hmm.
field skill
Hmm.
trial.
Hmm.
So those are three things which I would like to know.
See, let me start from the last question.
Mhm.
See, my organization where I worked, a National Research Development Corporation, we are the premier technology transfer organization. Uh, do you have a technology transfer cell or some kind of innovation cell or some kind of cell which manages your research?
So right now, sir, we have a innovation council, but not the technology transfer cell. But we are in a process of getting it, sir.
So what you do first, you have to have a this technology commercialization unit or whatever name you can have, technology transfer cell you can have, or intellectual property and technology transfer cell you can have. Secondly, you have when you have a cell, you have some people in it also who can work. And second, do you have a IPR policy?
Yes, sir. It's in making. So we have a IPR cell, which
Uh,
is formulating the policies.
the IPR, let IPR cell should be a part of technology transfer unit. Yeah, it's a bigger unit which contains everything, your innovation and IPR, everything. See, if you see the website of the IIS University Jaipur, they have a IPR. I prepared their IPR policy, which is there on the website. So first of all, before going ahead, you must have your IPR policy. In the absence of IPR policy, you cannot reach out to the market. Because suppose if you reach out to the market, then there could be a dispute in future, that how will you decide the pricing, who will get the price, who will get the, what will be the share of the scientist, what will be the share of the university, and what is the obligation of the university, what are the obligation of the scientist. Those, there are so many factors are there. Okay, so you must have a technology transfer cell and a intellectual property right IPR policy should be in place. Okay, now one more thing, if you don't want to do many of the activities yourself, because I know you are the teachers, your job is to do research in the laboratory and teaching. I know your handicap. So my earlier organization, that is where I worked, National Research Development Corporation, this is a specialized organization. So what you can do, when a technology is developed in your laboratory, you can assign the technology to NRDC for commercializing it. So they will take care of your interest. They, all burdens they will take care on their own. They can, because what we are doing, we were filing patents also. They can file patents at their cost on your technology. So most of your activities will be taken off by them. Once they are in the market survey, they will do themselves. All kind of advertisement, publicity, participation, exhibition, they will do themselves. Initial negotiation, they will do it. When final negotiation comes, then they will call you also in the final negotiation, and they can sign the agreement. So majority of it, if you don't want to do yourself, you assign is a 1.5 page document where you can assign your research to a government agency like NRDC. Rest of the things they will take care of themselves. You need not to worry about it. This is one way. The second way, if you have your own technology transfer cell, then all these kind of activities are to be done by yourself. You have to sign you have to file your application for patenting or any kind of an IPR. Secondly, you have to prepare your license agreement. You have to sign a license agreement with the party. You have to do market survey yourself. Then for scaling up, NRDC has got linkages with various government agencies. They can help you. They can organize funds for you in scaling up toxicity trials, clinical trials, testing, everything. They can organize funds for you for doing these kind of activities also to strengthen the marketability of your technology.
Right. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Otherwise, you can do one more thing. I live in Jaipur nowadays. I've left Delhi. But for the last 4 years, I'm in Jaipur, and you are very near to my place. If I can be a consultant to you. I'm not a very expensive consultant. I could be I can support you. I can help you in setting up your technology transfer center. I can help you in getting an IPR cell. If you are interested, you just can talk to me. There's no problem.
Yes, sir. Sir, we'll definitely nominate your name if it is asked from the Innovation Council. All right, sir. Thank you very much. If there is no more question, then we'll break for the lunch right now, and then the session will resume at 2:30. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome.